Let's start off today's show by recapping the Elimination Chamber from again the beautifulness of Western Perth, Australia. What a beautiful stadium Opus Stadium was. What a wonderful crowd. What a wonderful scenic starting at 6 p.m. on local time with the sunset coming down. And this show kicked off with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Now, this show, there may have only been 4 matches on the card. There may have only been 5 segments total on the card. But did every match have space and time to breathe, and everybody had its moments as the road to WrestleMania implications were certainly met here at Elimination Chamber. This recap, by the way, is coming fresh off of watching it early Saturday, late morning slash early afternoon here Eastern time in my homeland of the United States. So Becky Lynch and Naomi were the 2 members that started the match, along with Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Bianca Belair, and Tiffany Stratton walked in pods. One of the things I thought that was cool this year that WWE did was not only do they have cameras inside the Elimination Chamber pods, but they also had microphones so you could hear, of course, the trash talking between all of the wrestlers. So as I mentioned, this match started off between the man and Naomi, and they really had sort of a nice sort of friendship battle going back and forth. As I mentioned when I was previewing this event, Becky Lynch, the man, has a history with a lot of wrestlers in this match, of course, including the likes of Naomi, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Tiffany Stratton. So it was really cool to see. What was also really cool to see was Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton come in and absolutely be the highlight of this match. She entered in the match third. She was absolutely fantastic. Was beloved by the crowd and really at her moment, taking it to not only Naomi but Becky Lynch for the full time. She was in there before Liv Morgan entered in at number 4 and did her thing too. Really taking it to Tiffany Stratton, as her and Tiffany have certainly wrapped up that rivalry. Then in came Raquel Rodriguez. And what I predicted was that Raquel Rodriguez would turn on Liv Morgan in this match. It would lead to Raquel Rodriguez versus Liv Morgan at WrestleMania, because Raquel Rodriguez would blame Liv Morgan for being injured, would blame Liv Morgan for the reason why she is not Women's World Champion today, for the reason why she could not defeat Rhea Ripley, as of course Liv Morgan was the last person to pin Rhea Ripley, and that was in 2022, right before WrestleMania, right before the original Judgment Day with Edge was founded. And so I thought that would be the story they played off. It seemed like Raquel Rodriguez was getting a meaner attitude. But no, instead, she just took it to Naomi. She took it to Becky Lynch. She had an incredible moment where she was just destroying and taking apart Becky Lynch into the chains, which the woman did not use the outside as much as the men's, which I kind of figured, of course, because there's 2 Elimination Chamber matches. You can't damage the Elimination Chamber that much in the first match when you have another match coming up. But I thought Raquel got her spotlight, and then Naomi did a nice sort of blockbuster move to Liv Morgan, but allowed Tiffany Stratton to pick up the pieces on a roll through and pin Naomi and get Naomi out of the Elimination Chamber before the EST, who I like to call the Super Cena of the women's division, Bianca Belair, who I really like, but she has been really protected, as I mentioned, previewing this event over the last few years. Of course, WrestleMania 37 winning the title from Sasha Banks, WrestleMania 38 winning the title from Becky Lynch, WrestleMania 39 retaining the championship against Asuka, seemingly alongside Charlotte Flair having multiple title matches. Bianca got her moment, but as we'll soon find out, obviously, it was not meant to be. After that, Raquel Rodriguez, after taking multiple shots, ended up getting hit by a KOD by Bianca Belair, and then we were down to 4. Before that, I almost forgot about this cool spot where Tiffany Stratton went for the prettiest moonsault. And by the way, as I mentioned, she had an incredible performance in this match, but Liv Morgan was able to cut her off, deliver a face plant, almost a modified version of Obliteration, and knock off Tiffany Stratton. So we were down to 4, and led to the incredible KOD by Bianca Belair to make it down to 3 between Belair, Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. And I thought at this point that it was going to be Belair against Becky Lynch, as I predicted. I thought Becky Lynch would start the Elimination Chamber. I thought she had to go through the entire chamber. And I thought her going through Bianca Belair, who was the one opponent outside of the surprise, obviously, that occurred at SummerSlam 2021 when she shocked Belair. I thought Becky, having to go through Belair to get to the Women's World Championship would make the most sense. But instead, Liv Morgan really got the spotlight here, countering the KOD, hitting a code breaker on Belair, hitting a modified code breaker on Becky Lynch, and then the ability to roll up Bianca Belair after Bianca went for a KOD on Becky Lynch. Becky was able to land on her feet, but Liv Morgan was able to roll up Bianca Belair, get the 1, 2, 3, which immediately Becky Lynch would then hit the manhandle slam on Liv Morgan. I thought, by the way, protecting Liv Morgan very well. I thought Liv Morgan was presented very well in this matchup. The fact that she has 5 Elimination Chamber matches to her feet, really showing her experience. The fact that she eliminated Tiffany Stratton after Tiffany Stratton did an incredible moonsault off the one of the top of the pods. I thought it was just a fantastic way to not only present Tiffany Stratton, I thought she looked strong. I thought Liv Morgan looked strong. I thought they booked Bianca to look a little bit stronger than she did. But in the end, this was all about Becky Lynch starting from the #1 position, winning the Women's Elimination Chamber match, and now waiting the winner of the main event. Very solid Elimination Chamber, a lot of entertaining spots, and I would say the MVP of the match was without a doubt, again, Tiffany Stratton, who I think has a lot of potential going forward. And I think there is potential here for Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan to still settle their differences, maybe in a future episode of Raw, because the way Raquel Rodriguez was swinging Liv Morgan around, she even hit a double auto bomb on her and Becky Lynch at one point, which was a good spot. It does not look like they are tag team partners anymore. Then we get to the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match, which early on it was about Dominic Mysterio, obviously playing interference for Finn Balor and Damian Priest, but taking on the team of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And I know I'm the only person in the world that thinks this, but I still do miss Butch. I'm not the biggest fan of Pete Dunne. I'm not the biggest fan of his character. I don't think it gets over with a casual audience. I liked him a lot better when he was with Sheamus and Rich Holland as Butch in the Brawling Brutes. Just that gimmick that he loved to fight was a rabid animal instead of this meticulous guy that obviously is still doing very well at joint manipulation, which Michael Cole and Fit Finley, or Michael and Corey Graves, excuse me, rightly pointed out, obviously, that it was a lot like Fit Finley. But this match was very fun. Eventually, Dominic Mysterio got kicked out after basically costing the new Czech Republic, which is basically the new tag team name of Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. I don't know how I feel about that. Kind of weird name for a tag team. But in the end, the second half really picked up. There was a moment there where they hit the double team finisher on Damian Priest. I thought we were going to get new champions. Again, they gave a very good time for this match to breathe. But in the end, a double choke slam, a double south of heaven. Finn Balor able to hit the coup de grace on Pete Dunne. The Judgment Day retained the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, even without JD McDonough, without the services of Dominic Mysterio midway through the matchup, without R-Truth, who obviously thought the event was in Austria, which I thought was hilarious. I wish they would have filmed him actually going to Austria. I think that would have been amazing content. But in the end, the Judgment Day retain, and it looks like they will be taking on Awesome Truth for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 40, which I would love to see R-Truth and Miz capture the tag team gold. Then we got the Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, and I got this half predicted right. I said The Rock was going to show up, which I was wrong. The Rock did not appear in Perth as it was heavily rumored to. I thought he would, though it does sound like he's going to be in Glendale, Arizona for Friday Night SmackDown this Friday. No, instead, they just completely made fun of Austin Theory, and Cody and Seth laid the challenge down for the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania, which will feature a tag team match between Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins against The Rock and Roman Reigns. As I mentioned in my preview show on Thursday, I'm very fascinated to see how they book this match because you don't want Seth Rollins taking the fall coming out of his match that will happen the next night for the World Heavyweight Championship. You obviously don't want Cody and Rock looking weak. So to me here, I think that Cody Rhodes is going to hit the crossroads on the Rock. Cody Rhodes is going to get the pin night one of WrestleMania, which will play into obviously night two, where Cody tries to slay the dragon with Roman Reigns, with The Rock looking for his revenge. And my guess is he'll probably get it against Cody, costing him the Undisputed Championship against Roman Reigns. And maybe we get Cody Rhodes against The Rock somewhere down the line, maybe even in France at Backlash. But regardless, Grayson Waller got a nice pop in his hometown crowd of Australia. Austin Theory got booed religiously. The crowd was singing "Whoa" with the American Nightmare, singing Seth Rollins' song. It was really a great segment. Then we get to match of the night, in my opinion, which was the men's elimination chamber match, which was absolute carnage. We started off with LA Knight and Drew McIntyre, the same match that ended in ass the previous night on Friday Night SmackDown. They renewed acquaintances with Kevin Owens and Logan Paul shit talking at odds, with Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley shit talking at odds, with LA Knight and Randy Orton in before the match, taunting over the odds, doing their signature poses, really set the tone for this match. And the order of entry for the Elimination Chamber matches went Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, and then Logan Paul, who was able to pick the bones, come in sixth before Kevin Owens was absolutely drilling his head in a pod. So all like LA Knight did to Drew McIntyre when it was just those first two inside the Elimination Chamber. But this match really picked up when Bobby Lashley speared Logan Paul through a chamber pod. It allowed Drew McIntyre, though, to then hit Bobby Lashley with two claymores. Once on the outside, once on the inside. McIntyre disposed of Lashley. And then as LA Knight would hit a BFT, not only on Randy Orton, who hit a draping DDT early on in the match to the concrete floor, and I thought Randy Orton severely hurt himself. Commentary was making note of it like he was seriously injured. They did not stop the match. He could continue, but Randy was in massive pain for the event, and I wonder if he did by chance, tweak that back injury. So there's that. AJ Styles, then, as Bobby Lashley was getting eliminated, coming through and taking out LA Knight, presumably setting up a WrestleMania one-on-one encounter between AJ Styles and LA Knight. Now, I know a lot of people are very excited for this match, and I can understand why. To me, it really doesn't feel like a WrestleMania match until you intensify this feud. And I thought there were so many spots on the card that maybe you turn this into a multi-man match, but it does look like we are getting AJ Styles one-on-one with LA Knight at WrestleMania 40, which I assume LA Knight will go over in his position to eventually get a United States or World Championship match. Yeah, is all I have to say, as the Australian crowd was definitely behind LA Knight. Yeah. So at this point, LA Knight has been eliminated, obviously. Bobby Lashley has been eliminated. After a back and forth, Randy Orton was able to hit an RKO on Kevin Owens to eliminate him. And then when Logan Paul was setting up to deliver brass knucks to Randy Orton, Randy would sneak in behind him, deliver the RKO, and eliminate Logan Paul after some back and forth. So we were down to two between the Viper and Drew McIntyre. But with Logan Paul still in the chamber and with Randy Orton not even able to get up, as Drew McIntyre was attempting to claymore the Viper, and he couldn't do it because Randy Orton could barely stand because of what looked like that back injury. Randy Orton would surprise McIntyre with an RKO out of nowhere, but it was Logan Paul who delivered the one lucky shot, the United States champion delivering brass knucks to the Viper, with Michael Cole screaming, "Damn it, not this way!" That damn Logan Paul, with Michael Cole's voice almost being lost as Drew McIntyre put his arm over Orton for the victory. So Drew McIntyre eliminated 3 people in the chamber match. Randy Orton eliminated 2. For Drew McIntyre's elimination, 2 of them was because Logan Paul knocked out Randy Orton and AJ Styles defeated LA Knight, simply put, which I thought obviously fit Drew McIntyre's character. But Drew McIntyre now is set to enter night 2 of WrestleMania, where he will go one-on-one, we think, for the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth freaking Rollins. This match took place nearly 6 months ago at the Crown Jewel event. Then it took place on the first Raw of the new year, and Drew got screwed twice. One by his own undoing, and the other by Damian Priest in the Judgment Day and the Money in the Bank, and your Money in the Bank, that is still working. My question is Sami Zayn going to intervene in this contest and make it a triple threat match on night 2, and potentially Sami Zayn or Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre walk away a new World Heavyweight Champion, which Seth Rollins has been holding that championship since winning it last May at the Night of Champions event. And then the main event, Mommy took out Nia Jax in a match that I thought was exactly what I expected. Nia Jax punishing Rhea Ripley, delivering a Samoan drop from the top rope, delivering an elbow through the announce table, delivering an annihilator. But it was not to be, as they were setting up the home match for Rhea Ripley to hit the Riptide, and in her home country, where everybody was screaming for Mommy, we get Mommy versus the Man to main event night 2 of WrestleMania 40. And so, with that, the implications we got out of this show when it came to the Elimination Chamber was we pretty much now know the main event of night 1 will be Cody and Seth versus Roman and The Rock. We know that Seth versus Drew will take place for the World Heavyweight Championship. We assume on night 2. And who knows, maybe, McIntyre gets involved with Seth and Rock and Cody and Roman and the Bloodline and all that storyline as well. We pretty much assume now that Logan Paul and Kevin Owens will continue their feud. It looks like Randy Orton will get involved. Maybe we get a triple threat between those 3 members for the United States Championship. It also looks like Judgment Day will defend the Undisputed Tag Team Championships against Awesome Truth. And obviously, we got the Mummy and the Man for the Women's World Championship. So this WrestleMania card really took shape for this event. I thought the crowd was good. I thought Michael Cole and Corey Graves did a really good job, especially in the Elimination Chamber matches, explaining the heat inside the pods, which I never really thought about. And even though it wasn't as hot as it usually is around this time in Australia, because as somebody that didn't realize this till this week, because Australia is obviously on the other side of the hemisphere, their seasons are flipped. So it's summer right now down there in Perth. How beautiful. When you're watching, WWE wrestlers pet koalas this week, it just makes you want to go to Australia. But in the end, I realized that, yes, I did get almost every segment of this correct. The only thing I really got wrong for the whole show was I thought The Rock would show up. I thought there would be a little more surprises than what there was. And I thought maybe McIntyre would win the Elimination Chamber from starting in a pod as opposed to starting the matchup. But besides that, man, just a very enjoyable show. When you don't think too much into it, sometimes the best booking is simple booking. And we are indeed on the road to WrestleMania, where as of Tuesday, today, as you are listening to this podcast, we are officially 39 days away. Like that clip from the Brand's World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brand's World podcast right here on YouTube.